Now.
This meeting is being recorded.
Well. Here we are again. Episode 2 AC. And it's a pleasure to have you here, Tone, and also you, Marto. So, Tone, let's start with you because we will go with age before beauty. And Marto does look beautiful. And you are a little bit older than all of us. So, how's your week been? Tell us about yourself.
What's happened this week? Not a lot's happened this week. Mind you, Jason Collette and Dylan, is it Gibbons, should both not be allowed to ride racehorses. The two of the worst jockeys in Australia, honestly. Terrible. Shocking. Yeah. I wouldn't let them ride the grandkids' rocking horse if I had grandkids.
Honestly. But do you have a rocking horse, Tone? Because you might not have grandkids, but I reckon you got one at home that goes a bit like that.
Yeah. We did have one. Yeah, we sold it, but we did have one. Yeah.
It's and you, Marto, always a pleasure to see you. You're looking as handsome as never, but it's good to see you.
Very much. Always a pleasure for you to have me here. It's been a busy week, mate. We're short-staffed at work, so Marto's filling in a few extra hours and finding time to look at a bit of form on the way too. And the bloody rain just won't stop in Cairns. Every time you think it's finding up, the rain comes back again.
Rain in Cairns? That's unheard of, surely.
Oh, it's winter.
Queensland, it doesn't rain.
Yeah. Almost mate, winter. I thought the rain has stopped.
Usually. You know how many sunny days we've had this year? You can count them on one hand.
It's been that bad.
It rained every other day. Yeah, not heavy, but it's just miserable and it gets annoying, mate. I mean, we've had a few more than 5 sunny days, but many more rainy days than sunny this year anyway. Well, but life goes on.
Well, I can assure you there's a little bit of rain coming in Melbourne, so I'm sure that's going to probably play a part in people's selections and predictions and winners and losers. But we'll just go over last weekend. Now, we were talking about how good we were with our Kickstarters, if I recall.
Oh.
Until last weekend, because I don't think we kickstarted anyone, to be honest, did we?
Not at all. No.
Nothing. There was nothing there. Terrible.
So we'll put that one aside.
Put a line through it.
That's it. How did the titanium tip go, Tone?
I think it's still running. Horrendous. I forgot who rode it. But there's another one while I think of it. Rachel King should never be allowed to be saddled up on a racehorse, honestly. Another one.
There'll be no Sydney jockeys left after the end of the show.
I'll come back to that comment in a moment, Tone, about Rachel King. Marto, meat and 2 veg?
Yeah. Or probably half a run short. We just missed, mate. 8 months off of the track was telling at the end. We got close, but no winner.
And I just want to ask you blokes, do you know who the star was?
Oh, I think I know a star.
Yes.
Star. Perfectly ridden
behind the flag.
Perfectly ridden by Rachel King, by the way.
Yeah. She wins one every meeting. Oh, not every meeting, but once every now and again, you know. You can raise the flag, but tell you what, she, if it was raining $10 notes, I'd catch a summons every time she's on a horse.
Sometimes it can be hard to catch, but it was a good ride and a very, very strong horse.
Yes.
Yeah, well done, Taz. Good pick, mate. But look, at the end of the day, we are a team, and whilst I might have been the one that got the lucky one home, I can only hope that this week and this weekend, because Tony, you've had a little bit of a luck. You threw out a $7 winner, if I'm sure, in a Tomahawks. Is that right as well?
Yes, I did. That was a miracle, wasn't it? Fantastic.
Yeah,
the other two, well, they ran like, me with a gut full of the amber liquid. But, yes, it was a nice $7 winner. So people, if they got on at that price, it was good,
Profit for the day, mate. If you got 3 or 4 out and one wins at 7s, you covered your day.
How did you find it? Was it with darts, or did you get the cat to go out and lick a bowl or something like that? How did you find it?
I just wrote all the numbers down, put them on a little bit of paper, and did the old test lotto. Oh, that's the number that came out. Never fails, does it?
I'm sure there's a lot more process to your form finding, Tone, but it was well done on the winner, mate. Well done.
Yeah,
I'll tell you, now, because you brought up Tats Lotto, there was Powerball here in Australia last weekend,
Oh, Jesus.
and it was 150 mil. Now,
Yes.
you've got to get 7 numbers in the Powerball, right? What do you reckon 6 numbers in the Powerball would pay?
Oh,
What do you
Yeah, well,
just
the
throw a
jackpot
number?
was 150.
150 million was the total.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
that
if
was
you
the
got
top price.
you had to get 7 in the Powerball, but if you got 6 in the Powerball, what do you reckon you'd win?
Oh, it'd have to be a couple of mil, wouldn't it? Have to be a few mil.
15,000.
5 mil, huh?
15,000. What a disgrace.
Oh, I'd never play again. That's robbery. You
What a
can't pay.
disgrace. Yep. A friend of a friend was telling me about one of his family members who got 6 in the Powerball and got 15,000. The guy couldn't sleep for the following 2 or 3 days. You're one number off winning or sharing 150 mil, and you get 15,000. You wouldn't want to get that close, would you?
No.
Oh, unbelievable.
Yep.
I like the way the American lotto system does it. They have a not all of them, but most of the state lotteries, they have a cap. And then once they reach that cap, it starts spilling over to the minor prizes, and the minor prizes get bigger. We don't do that here. We just keep topping up the top prize, and all the minor prizes are pretty much set. They still come out of the same prize pool, but they're set to a percentage of the win. And but there were a lot of second division winners, which brought it down to 15 instead of saying 50,000, which is what would normally go off a second prize.
But even so, 150 mil and second prize 50,000. It should be there should be a minimum payout. Do you know what I mean? Like even with normal Tats Lotto, if it's $1 million to the winner, where you get 6 numbers and the supplement, normal's just 6 numbers. But if you get 5, it's nowhere near anywhere near the mill. It's like if you're lucky, if you get 5, you might get 10 grand or something.
It's like I know a star winning in Sydney last week. Away from them.
$3. I think there were a few on it. But anyway, that's my little bit about Tats Lotto, Powerball, all that sort of stuff, because you got to be in it to win it, so they speak. But
you do. And,
now, Premier Racing is in South Australia. Am I right?
No.
Oh,
come on.
Where is it?
There's $1 million Group 2 in Brisbane. There's $2 million Group 1s in Brisbane. And I can't believe this, but Queensland actually has the Premier Racing this weekend. Can't believe I just said that.
It's bizarre. Have you had a look, Tone, in Queensland at all?
I didn't. There's far too many horses in every race. And I reckon it's going to pay a mozza, the quaddie. I reckon it's going to be.
I think it's a couple of short price good things that will come in there in the middle legs myself. It's racing. Anything can happen.
Beat, can't they? If I back them, they'll lose. Maybe I should back them and won't win. That's a certainty.
If you're going to back them and they lose, what you've got to do is you've got to declare them first, so that everyone knows not to back them as well.
Yeah. Get off it. Lay it off on the Betfair.
Yeah. Don't get on.
The Phantom has sent his quaddie through, and surprise, surprise, he's gone to Brisbane.
He has?
Numbers will be up in a slide. But I'm putting it out there. If the Phantom doesn't strike, I think we may need to revisit it. And it might be a matter of Tone having a crack, Marto having a crack, me having a crack, or we get a guest tipster in to have a crack again, because
1 leg each.
Yeah, we could do that. But I mean, if he doesn't strike gold this week, I think we may need to revisit it. And it might be a matter of throwing out a poll on the Palti page with a couple of options to see what the people think.
Barney's calling me. He said he wants to be the first one. Already. He's got his hand up. He said, make sure I'm in there.
I've got to sound politically correct, but I know that I've got to be the last one. There's a reason behind that. But anyway, we're not going to talk about that.
Righto.
Actually, I did text the great man there today, and he said, "Big shout out to the boys on the show from the great man Barney. He's on the Terps, I think. He's on the Terps.
He's always on the Terps. He gets half a day off when he's on the bottle of wine.
Absolutely good on him. Why not? Now,
good on him, mate. He's loving life.
If Barney's now being kicked to the curb because he's on the Terps, how about we start going with our Kickstarters? So, Tone, where are you going?
Good.
I don't know what my Kickstarter was.
Do you want me to tell you what it was? Because I've got it here.
Can you tell me?
It was in Caulfield.
Right.
It was the second race because I've written it down here.
Oh, yes. Sub Rising. Number 2. It's about 4 wins.
Well, that's
I think the top weights, they were like, I think they were both sort of, what do you say, equal favourites, aren't they?
There was, but there was another one, and I was a bit surprised that you didn't take it.
Oh, what was it?
It was
the number 5
horse that we used from the Heavens tip by the name of Stylish, because we all knew how much Pezza was.
Stylish. I know. Yeah, you're right. That's it. I didn't tip it. I know. Will I pay the price for not putting it in?
So there's only 7. There's 7 in race.
Yeah, 7, but I reckon there's 3 red hot chances in here. Surprising's one of them, of course. It's definitely in my numbers. But I've earmarked the 3 and the 5 as well. But yeah, let's go, Tone. Kickstart us off today with surprising, mate, because that would be surprising.
You know, have to make a decision, don't we? And that's what I come up with. But yes, Taz, you're right. Stylish is there, and it's a 3-horse race, really, isn't it?
It is.
I think so.
Marto, I'm just going to give a little bit of a spoiler alert for yours.
Here we go.
You picked a horse that 2 starts ago, or 3 starts ago, it won at Matoa. Now, admittedly, it won at $1.70, and it won pretty easy. So tell us why this thing's going to win this weekend and why it's your Kickstarter.
Poison Challenge. Oh, there's one big reason. I'll tell you why I've gone to Brisbane, because I looked hard in Caulfield and Rose Hill for a Kickstarter. And to be honest, mate, I think most of those horses would be embarrassed to run around on a Wednesday. So I've gone up to Brisbane and I've seen this Poison Chalice. The first run over 1,200 was all right, but all he did was, what do you call it? Blow the dust out the lungs. He's getting ready. He's a 1,600 to 1,800 horse. He's drawn out in 13, gets out over the right trip. He's got a little rain-affected track with, it's a soft rating, probably a 5. I doubt we get to a 6, but a soft 5 is perfect for us. Yeah. Barrier 13, there's 1 leader in this race. We'll probably follow it around 2 or 3 pairs back. But the big reason I'm picking it, Mickey D on for Paul Pruska. Mickey D is absolutely on fire, and I love this jockey change.
No, I think it's look. I'll follow the horse. This horse is I rate it. Don't get me wrong. I'm surprised that it's gone to Queensland, but this horse has shown so much. I mean, I know it went over to Adelaide as well. They have travelled.
It's been around. Yes,
but they've also really had whacks at it. It started some really short prices in its career, so it'll be interesting. And I'm not surprised that I think it's about 250, if I'm right, thereabouts.
No, it's 310, mate. 310.
Oh well, there you go. But even that price doesn't surprise me, because as I said, a horse that's won 2 starts ago at Matoa, going up to Brisbane after a fair run at Flemington at $3.10.
Yeah, but to be honest, I mean, Flemington was a listed race and a couple of good ones won there, but I just thought it was a bit short, and it was really winding up late over the last 150, 100 metres. So 1,600, a big positive. And a big plus, Hollywood Hero scratched out of that race today. So there's one danger gone.
That's top weight?
It was.
Very, very nice. Well, just to make sure that the Kickstarters do kick, it's all going to be about all mine. And that's what I'm going to say when it wins. This money is mine, all mine. It's actually in South Australia. So like I'm heading over to Adelaide, and it's in race 2. It's number 6. Look, it should lead. if it doesn't lead, it'll probably sit just outside the speed. There's not many in it. It's run fourth over, I think, 1,000. If I'm right, fourth over 1,200, second over 1,000, wins over 1,100. So stubby holders on it. It is a competitive race. There's a few that I've looked at in that race, but I think mine is due, and that is my Kickstarter. Now, if we take the three of us together, we get about 40 to 1 or something. So I think 3 to 1.
Let's get it with
3 to 1, 5 to 1, 5 to 1. What's that? 25. It's actually more than that, isn't it? So there's a bit of value there. So
yeah, somewhere between 30 and 40 to 1. But even so, I mean, it's worth a little tricksy, isn't it? You've only got to get two of them up.
Mate, we have been right before. And Tone, how many times does a clock strike correct or something? What do you say?
Twice a day. A broken clock is correct twice a day, yeah? Something like that, yeah.
That's
true.
Well, I hope that's the day. Before we go with our individual tips, did anyone watch the footy tonight?
Oh, yes. That maybe blue team had a little crack, didn't they?
Yeah, I didn't want to talk footy last week too much because I know the Swannies absolutely killed it on the Thursday night, but I'm happy to talk footy today.
Oh, it's different now when you're winning, isn't it?
Well, I'm still a blue flog in the eyes of many. So
absolutely, you got to celebrate those wins, mate. That was a tough win. Yeah, we've had a tough run in Adelaide and come away with a very, very strong win tonight.
Well, we now go up to fourth. We go up to fourth.
That's your first away game you've won this year. I'll just let you know that. You know that?
No, we won. Well,
yeah. Well, Magic Round, it was technically a home game for you. That gather round, rather.
Look, we haven't won there. We haven't beaten the South Australian team over there for I think eight or 9 or whatever years. But
I think the number was 11 matches. Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while.
Few years. It was nice. It was interesting to see Vossi having a bit of a chat to Hinkley. I don't know if you guys watched the footage of the game or just post match because I would love to know what they're actually saying because I love to see it when actually you see players engage with each other, but players tend to know each other, whether they play representative or whatever, in their junior years. But it's interesting when you see coaches actually engage because you just wonder, what are they talking about? Are they talking about umpires? Are they talking about players? Are they talking about their game? What do you reckon they're talking about, Tone? Do you reckon they're talking about the beers they're going to share afterwards, or do you reckon they're bagging each other or hanging shit on each other? Because they look amicable at most times.
Yeah, they probably talked about the umpires because we might as well have robots out there because the umpiring has been atrocious so far this year. Absolutely horrendous. And for every team. I mean, a lot of Richmond supporters are going crook about we're getting a bad run. Look, everyone's getting a bad run. There's been some horrendous decisions,
It's inconsistent too. I mean, one umpire will pull up holding the ball.
Exactly, mate.
But how do you get around
another umpire will just let it go and go and go. Well, yeah, that's it. You've got to be unified in your decisions, don't you? You've got to be consistent. But at the end of the day, you've got 4 out there adjudicating the game, and they have to do that to the best of their ability and for what they're seeing. And if they want to see a fast match, they'll pull them up quick or let them go.
It's interesting you say that. Like I don't disagree with you guys at all. I truly don't disagree. I mean, I don't mind the fact that Richmond are getting a rough end of the stick, but I don't disagree with what you're saying. But the one thing that I use in my coaching world is don't blame the umpires because they do make mistakes.
They do. They're human.
Players, they shouldn't be bagging them because players make mistakes too. So do coaches. And if we're not getting it right, we can't be pointing the finger at the umpires as well because we're paid professionals, paid players or paid coaches. We're professionals. We're getting paid. So too are the umpires. So no one's criticising players when they make mistakes, but we're very, very quick to criticise umpires who probably have got the toughest gig going around. So I'm not trying to be an umpire lover, but I think it's probably the hardest gig ever. So
Agreed.
I don't know how do we get them better. Maybe artificial intelligence.
More on the field.
More.
Put more on the field, no.
But how do we?
Well, those.
How many
Then
more
you
do
got
we
six
want?
players all trying to make a decision.
Eh?
I mean,
No, I just want them to wake up and get like the round ball for the round ball mob in Europe and put the chip in the ball. It's all fixed then.
Do you reckon though, like some of those holding the ball decisions and things like that, do you reckon they get that right with the chip?
I don't think it's going to change much to myself. No.
And could you imagine if there was a chip in the footy when Plugger was playing? He would have grabbed the footy and tried to eat it. You know, I mean, free chips.
What's it called? Barbecue and chicken.
That's what I mean. Anyway, enough of the footy. Have you guys got your specials out for the weekend? So
where did they go?
Let's go with you, Marto. Let's hit us up. Where are we going? What are we back to?
Again, we're going back to Brizzy, back to up at Eagle Farm there, and this is the one where Autumn Angel picks up her Group 1. Massive Oaks form here. She beat Zardozi, who I actually tipped against her and went with Zardozi at Randwick. But I I tipped her the race before that where she lost by half a length to Good Banter. And I thought, oh my God, I can't pick her. So I got off her last start, where she's run second, a very, very strong second at Doomben. But that was over 2,000 meters. This is back up to the 2,400. This is back up to the Oaks distance. And this is a horse I've got a lot of time for. I think she's a future cup runner. It won't be this year, possibly not next year. But as a 5-year-old, I think she's in cup contention as she gets out further in distance. The 2,400, the soft track, Mark Zara's come up to stay with her. And I think this is where she picks up her Group 1 right here. Barrier 1, she's going to have a great run in transition.
He has ridden her, I think, 3 times for...
he has 2 wins and a second.
Time. And she's won over 2,400 as well. Tony, you got any poison to throw at Marto or anything like that? Or you reckon we're just on it, we'll sprinkle it with sugar?
No, I think it should win. I think it should win.
I like it. God help us all. We all like it. All three of us. Wow. We're doomed.
I tend to agree with you, Marto. I think there's only probably 2 or 3 in it that are genuine chances. I mean, if there's going to be a boil over, well, so be it. You deal with that.
I don't think there's a boil over. I think Tannhauser, if it ran forward with Nash on, might be a bit of a challenge, but Tannhauser tends to get back. And I don't think Eagle Farm's going to play very kind to those back markers. It'll be front runners and midfielders that are winning. That's my opinion.
I'll tell you what.
That's really
that scares me.
I think that's really the only danger.
That does scare me though, Marto.
I've got it wrong before.
No, but I hope that they start, because Poison Chalice gets behind as well. So I hope at the start.
Midfield.
Okay. All right. So you reckon way back the swoopers aren't coming?
I just don't think the back markers will have enough to get there. But hey, it's a derby race, 2,400, and who knows what's going to happen. Just
100.
I mean, Nash
from the midfield lose it.
That Nash, golly, he couldn't run out of sight on bloody foggy night. He's useless.
He's in the book of Clipperton as well, is he?
He's in there. Nash, I don't rate him.
I know. Let's go, Mark Zara, the Melbourne Cup winning jockey, winning the Group 1 up in Doomben, Eagle Farm, wins the derby. Let's go.
Yep, why not?
$2.70 is what you're getting for your money.
Mark Zara, legend.
No,
he's all right.
Where are we throwing your TTs? And I'm not talking about you.
The TT, I'm back down in Caulfield. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, but there is I think the combo's right. You've got you've got the Feith, Stokes, and Stacky. Well, he rides to win most of the time, so I think you've got a good combo there. But you've sort of got me a bit worried, Taz. If there's much rain down there, this is one like 4 out of 7, I think, in the dry. But I don't know. The wet, if it gets wet, I don't think it's going to do that well. But this time in, it's won 2 out of its last 8 attempts, and it shouldn't have been beaten last start. It wasn't beaten by much. So I think it's a big chance with Stacky on board. I think the price is right.
But I just the bottom
the race.
Tone, there's one down the bottom that I think you've tipped before on the show.
Does it name the horse or the race?
Suto?
Sorry?
Can we just backtrack, Tone? You haven't named the race number or the horse.
Oh yes.
Oh,
Good to know that.
Helps. Yeah. It's cricket.
Sorry, guys. Twin Perfection at Caulfield, race 6. Race 6, number 8, Twin Perfection. Stackhouse is doing the steering. Stokes is doing the rigging. The price, well, it was around about $6. I think that's good value.
10 to 550, I can tell you that much.
Oh, getting to the board already.
On then. Barney's got on, has he?
He's opened his wallet. He's opened a net account. He's on with Bet Galaxy. He's on everywhere.
Oh, you're all over it. Yeah, so Twin Perfect. I think it's a big chance. Big chance.
The one thing I can assure you, Tone, whether it wins or it doesn't, is you have once again found one of the most difficult races on the card. I look.
It is very open.
There's a horse that's come over the favourite. Keep reading. It's come over from South Australia. Yes, it goes super over there. It's going to be favourite here. Vivienne. Gee whiz, deep lanes on it. For Pseudo, you backed it. There's so many. I've looked at this race and I'm like, what, where, what, how, who, why? But then, you know what I realised? Tone, most difficult race. Let's do it. So good luck, mate. There's nothing wrong with it.
As they say, no duck's guts, no apple pie. So it's either, whack your fillet steak up on the chopping board and put your money on.
Get around him, as they say.
Well, I've stuck with you, and I've stuck with you by sticking to Caulfield, and I've gone with Pivot City in race 8, number 2. Now, it's coming back. It's been about a month between runs. It did go over to a stakes race over in South Australia. I think it ran a place. Wasn't that bad, but this is a 3-year-old colt by not a single doubt. And Pricey does train it. This horse has got gears, in my opinion. It can settle forward and it can also settle at the back. The month between runs isn't going to go against it because it has raced well in the past fresh. I like it a lot. I think at Caulfield, whether the rain comes or not, whether it's a leader bias or not, I think it can take a sit. I think it can move forward. I just think it is a big chance. And at the price, at about 6 to 1, I'm on. So Pivot City is the one for me.
I do like it too. I think it's going to be set up very well up front with She's All Shenanigans drawing the pole. She's going to set the pace. And I do like Pivot City coming over the top with D Lane hammering away.
Well, I think D Lane could have a good day over in.
He's got a very nice book of rides. So,
anything else that's caught your fancy? Anything else you think you want to throw a little bit here at, or throw a little bit there at?
I'm a little bit what would you say? Anxious to take on St. Lawrence in race 7 at Caulfield with Munhamek.
Oh, tomatoes favourites.
I just I think I might have found the right sort of race to be upsetting a short price favourite. I do like St. Lawrence and I've got a lot of time for him, but Munhamek could just pop up and cause a little upset there in race 7.
Has it come back as well as in previous campaigns? I mean, when they took it over to Perth or whatever it was, it won for you. I remember
it's well travelled as well.
But
that was the William Pike gift. Sorry, I missed that.
Do you reckon it's done? I don't think it's come back ever since its Perth win. I don't think it's raced as well. I don't know.
This is just the right sort of race. I mean, we're in a in a benchmark 100, so we're not running around in stakes grade. We're a little bit back. The 1600's good. It's definitely well weighted. And if they are running on at Caulfield, then Jamie Mott's just got to find the right spot to put him in. Like I said, though, I do like St. Lawrence. I've got a lot of time for that horse. But Munhamek has popped up in my numbers. There's a possible little upset.
Nice one. Take note. Tone, what have you got for us around the country? I mean, what's your new favourite beer or anything you like? Getting warm now.
The what's name? The what is it? The big race there, Kingsford Smith Cup, the Group 1, right? The Kingsford. There's a couple of mine, I think, running in that Magic Time. I've been on that before.
Yeah.
Sure,
it's about 5-1. And Antino's about 9-1, right? 8 or 9-1.
Yeah, fair. But I just think about it coming back to a sprint race. I think it's just
hard to beat.
well
Yeah.
over the odds of $6. I mean, Jesus Christ, I'd be taking $3.80 for think about it. I don't think Wish I wins again. I think 1,300 is just too much for him. But think about coming back in trip. They've given him a spell and retrained him for the sprints again. I just think $6 is massive overs for him.
But massive overs is good, isn't it? Because we all want
It
value.
is. It means you get value. That's right. That's
We
exactly right.
And mind you, the fields are big there as
That's
well.
right.
So
They are.
They've been going very well. What about off the beaten track? Anything going? Any sports bets? Any NBA? Anything like that you've been following, Marto? I mean, we used to say that you
Always,
are
mate,
Mr.
always.
Worldwide, Mr. Anything,
Oh,
surely.
yeah, yes. But the soccer's sort of winding up. I tend to try and stay away from those final ties and the playoffs. So that's all sort of back to the wayside now, and wait till August when everything kicks off again in the EPL and whatnot. I suppose we could go to the Argentinian League or the Netherlands League and have a look around there. But no, I think I might take a bit of time off the sports betting, and a few same game multis with the AFL have come in and they're paying off all right for me between $4 or $5. You get 3 or 4 legs in.
You haven't been betting on Felix the Fly or anything like that recently? Yeah?
No. That was
Just get your money really.
Please, Marto, stop betting on those pickles running down the McDonald's wall. So I put all that stuff aside.
No. And the footy? What do you reckon?
Footy,
How your team's going this week?
Swannies
I mean,
are
you're up and about with the Swannies 10-1, surely.
Bloody oath we are. Very well, not very much unexpected. I thought we'd be competitive after last year. Last year we started strong and sort of faded out to the end with the younger bodies getting tired and a few injuries about. But I mean, when you think that Luke Parker's an all-Australian midfielder and couldn't break into the first grade squad, and he's gone nuts in reserve grade and taken some fella out, busted his face up, and now he's got 6 weeks on the sideline just when we needed him because Robbie Fox is out. But that's a shame. I mean, but it shows the strength of that side and how well they're travelling at the moment when you've got all Australians that can't get in there. I'm loving what it's been.
6 weeks, though. Did deserve the 6 weeks.
Yes, for sure.
I don't have much more to share, boys. We did sort of go about the 9 last week, right at the end, so we didn't quite finish how the 9 works. But any number you multiply by 9 ends in 9. Now you could try. So the formula is, even if the answer is like 473,008, if you add all the numbers and eventually get down to 2 numbers, it always equals 9. So
yes, that was a little trick they taught us in primary school growing up. I'm not sure they teach it in the math primary schools anymore, but yes, it's something that showing my age now. All the other 50-year-olds out there would remember it from their education.
Do you remember your primary school days? Do you remember where you went?
I do. It was a little coal mining town called Moranbah State School. That was my primary school.
Tone, where did you go to primary school?
Longford State School. There we go.
And I went to Moorabbin West. There you go.
There we go.
I think between the three of us, we've got the axis of evil, the 3 of us there. All right, fellas. Anything you want to say? Let's sign it off. Let's say goodbye. Let's put this post up during the week. I'll get it up there tomorrow, tonight, today, whenever, as quickly as I can.
Yeah, I'm just going to finish by saying all the Palti army there, I'm going to have a little Trixie on with the Kickstarters this week. And like I said, we only need 2 of them to get a profit for the Trixie.
We will.
If we get all 3, we're filling up and we can have a great weekend.
Don't you doing a Trixie?
Yes, I'll be having a couple of little Trixies. I will go through the field again and see if I can find a couple of smokies that are, hidden away that I missed. And, I might put them up in my tips in the thread on Saturday.
Nice. We look forward to them. Yeah. Little outsiders in the provincials.
Now, Before we do go, I just want to ask you one last question, Tone.
Yeah, mate.
Last week, you had the relaxed look there. Sit back, here we are. This week, you're nice and straight, firm. Looks like you're in a clean room, a different room. What have you done
It's
different?
the same room. My daughter's cleaned it up, and it's absolutely unbelievable in here now. But that other chair is too laid back. I feel like Yogi Bear after a big feed, just laying back. So I've gone back to the one of my old favourite kitchen chairs. I feel like Damien Lane in the saddle.
Yes, your posture's got the executive look this week, Tone. I feel like I'm sitting in front of you on the other side of the desk trying to explain why I should keep my job. I've gone to see the boss, and please explain what's going on.
Yeah.
All right. Well, fellas, I'm going to sign us all off.
Yes, it's been fun again. Thank you very much.
AC,
Great.
put a line through it. Good luck. May the force be with you. And if the force isn't, then may the force not be chasing you. And if that doesn't mean anything, it's not supposed to, because it is all over Red Rover. Thanks, fellas.
Cheers,
Thanks.
to the army.
Money in the bank. Money in the bank.